Well guys, another little video for you on the RECEPTOR. Well, this is the finished product for RECEPTOR 1, version 1 I'll call it. This one works perfect, can't complain with this one at all. I've done a few videos on this one, he works awesome. Then I decided to take the same circuit and try and build the radio inside of a steel enclosure, aluminum enclosure, with a built-in power supply. That didn't work out too well. So this one here doesn't do, it works kinda. I got a receive preamp built on this one that boosts the receive signal into the oscillator, into the receiver. Had the audio amplifier back here. The problem I had with this one is I was getting a vicious hum, AC hum I guess, from the power supply. So needless to say, that killed this one. I suppose I could strip the power supply out and put a 9-volt battery in there and try it, but you know, I might just do it. But right now, this one here was version 2. It had a fine-tune control right here, it had main tuning right there, your regenerative control there, main coil here. Of course, that's the power supply I built months ago. That's the actual receive circuit down here, receive preamp and audio amplifier. So this was version 2. I'm going to before I completely scrap this one, I'm going to try it on a 9-volt battery just to see if it actually does anything, works any better. But building a regenerative receiver and running it on a power supply inside the same cabinet, not a good idea. I was reading online after I decided to build this that if you do use a 9-volt power source other than a battery, then apparently you're supposed to have the external power supply and have at least 10 feet or more of hookup wire going to the power supply to help isolate the power supply from being amplified by the receiver. Yeah. So, needless to say, power supply circuit is not going to work with a regenerative receiver circuit. Then that brings me to version 3. This one I spent a bit of time. Actually I spent close to a week building this one, redesigning it, and just, yeah, a lot of work went into this one, but I'm really getting nowhere. First, I had this coil here made that I could just bring my little ferrite rod in and out. It didn't seem to do too much, so I got rid of this. Then I decided to take the same dimensions for the taps, or for the coil lengths, and decided to put them on a ferrite rod, which was right here, that I put back here, wrapped it on, ran it down. It didn't seem to work too well either, so I got rid of that rod. I had a smaller rod and decided to put it here, and this is the current version as it sits now. We still got our 6 turns here, and we got our 20 odd turns here for the secondary. I'm also using candle wax to hold the coils, hold all the wire together. All it is just ordinary candle, nothing fancy. That's where I'm getting my source of wax. Got a big old tuning cap. I decided to string this one, which was I think a pretty good idea. The way you don't actually have to touch this. So you got the string turns the tuning cap, and for strain relief for the string, it's just an ordinary old rubber ring. And of course, it goes back here. Salvaged this piece from an old radio I scrapped a while ago, and yeah, the little aluminum bits and pieces I'm using here is from old radios and stuff I scrapped. So yeah, you just tune this here and tune it over here. So yeah, it works. I've used the same transistors in this one as I used in the original circuit. Lots of audio, lots of sound, but I'm not receiving anything. Very good. So let's just turn it on. So for this one, yeah, like I say, you call for a bunch of ceramic capacitors, but I couldn't really get the regen working, and so I decided to put a few trimmer capacitors in here to try and get it going, which worked. This version, like this version and this version, which was built on top of circuit boards. This one was totally put together using nails, finishing nails. That might have a lot to do with why this one ain't working too well. And then again, I mightn't bother with it at all. But this is, I guess you would call actual breadboard construction. Just an old piece of wood I had, and figured I'd use a few nails on it and see if that would work. I mean, it works, kinda. But I've yet to receive any shortwave stations on this one at all. When the rod was back here, I managed to tune in a couple AM stations, mainly 800 kilohertz, and at one point I even managed to hear a long wave beacon on this thing. That was kind of cool, but I've yet to get this thing into shortwave bands. So we have version 1. We have version 2, and we have version 3. All three of them are built off of this circuit. So, version 1, she's still, I'm saving this one. She works, so we're keeping this one. Version 3 is going to be completely scrapped and gutted. I'm going to rebuild this. I got another idea for this one. And we're going to go try a completely different circuit. Version 2 is yet. I think I'll try a 9-volt battery on her and see if I can't get this one working. See what happens there. If this still don't work, then version 2 is going to be scrapped as well. So version 2 might be scrapped. Version 3 is definitely going to get scrapped. I'm going to keep the tuning cap and the tuner right there. But everything else you see here, all this here, is going to be removed. So yeah. Anyways, a little update on what's going on here. We're constructing. We're trying to construct. But this one here, I have to say, this one works perfect. Dreams of Canada putting all on this one. I like this one. Anyways, let's let's see what I can come up with. And the new circuit that I'm planning on building on this one is going to be a reflex receiver. It's one of the ones that are online. I forget now who actually designed this circuit, but apparently it's for the AM band. This one uses ferrite rods for L2, L1, L2, and L3, and we've got lots of rods here, so we're going to try that. And this one just calls for ordinary 2N3904 transistors, nothing fancy there. Uses a 4148 diode. Pretty common parts. The only thing that a little bit tricky to get, I guess, maybe a 33 microhenry coil here, inductor, and a 1K to 8 ohm transformer. But other than that, that's going to be a new circuit that's going to be built onto this one. But in any event, version 1 is, I would think, a success. Version 2 has yet to prove itself to me, but version 3 is a complete, utter failure. It just will not work. Anyways, again, it could be because of the nails that I'm using, possibly. If anybody else has built little receiver circuits using nails, comment below. I'd like to hear what you got to say about how it worked out for you, if it worked at all. Because nails may not have any effect at all on this, and they may have all kinds of effect on this. But in any event, there we have it. Version 1, version 2, and version 3. Anyway guys, take it easy.